Good morning. I thought I'd just come and share one of my favorite verses in the Bible. And it reads from Mark 9, chapter 21 through verse 23. And it says, "How long has this been happening?" Jesus asked the boy's father. He replied, "Since he was a little boy. The Spirit often throws him into the fire or into the water trying to kill him. Have mercy on us and help us if you can." Jesus replies in verse 23, "What do you mean, if I can?" Jesus asks. "Anything is possible if a person believes." And the story starts out as in verse 9, they are coming, they're just Jesus and Peter, James, and John are just coming from the transfiguration that takes place on the mountain. And as they come down off the mountain, Jesus runs into what is chaos taking place. The man has brought his boy to the disciples to be healed, and disciples cannot heal the boy that is demon possessed. And Jesus gets upset with the disciples, and he says, "How long must you be with me?" And he says, "Bring the boy with me." And one thing that comes out is Jesus gets upset with his disciples, not because they can't cast out the demons. He gets upset with them because he sees how great they can be, yet they don't see it themselves. And sometimes that's how it is with us. Jesus sees how great we can be and how awesome we can be, and yet we fail to operate in that greatness or in that awesomeness. And Jesus gets upset with us. He gets upset with them because Jesus has walked with them. Jesus has taught them. Jesus had led them by example. And yet they still fail to operate in the power that they have been given. And it goes on down as the boy continues to be thrown. As he comes to Jesus, he's still thrown into convulsions and having seizures. And Jesus asks, "How long has this been going on?" And the man replies, "Since he was a little boy." And he says, do something if you can. Now think about this. Here is a man who is bringing his son to the disciples to be healed. Not only is he bringing his son to the disciples to be healed, but he is now in front of Jesus, and yet he says, "If you can." The point is, sometimes we believe because we've seen it in action, and something he has seen or heard that has made him even bring his son to them. And so it's not that he doesn't believe, but sometimes we start to doubt. We start to doubt that what we have seen Jesus do for others, that he will not do for us. And that is not true, because Jesus is who he is. He has no respect to persons. It doesn't matter how old you are, how you look. It doesn't matter what kind of job you have, where you live, how big your house is. Jesus is the same. When you read in his word, he says, "I am the same today, yesterday, and forevermore." And so he goes on, and he heals the boy. And once the boy is healed, the man says, "Forgive me. Forgive me of my unbelief." Not only that, the word actually says, "Help me overcome my belief." And I think that's what many of us are struggling with today. We've seen Jesus in action. We know about Jesus. We may even have experienced Jesus in our own life. And yet, when things get tough, or things don't go our way, or life events start to happen, we start to doubt. And Jesus is saying, "Look, I believe in you. I have given you everything that I have." And so I just come saying this morning, continue to believe, no matter how bad things get, no matter what goes on in your life, and life is going to show up. Continue to believe. Continue to trust what you have seen Jesus do in your life this far, and he will continue to do it. Thank you for listening this morning.